We see the headlines about massive lawsuits and market monopolies, but we rarely see the actual mechanics of how they're being fought. This is EconWorks. We look past the talking points to find where law, economics, and markets actually collide. Let's get into it.
Beneath the glass and the glowing screen, your smartphone operates as a strictly controlled economic ecosystem. Inside, three specific choke points govern your digital life: the App Store software, the Apple Pay prompt, and the physical NFC microchip, the hardware that enables contactless payments. This is the within ecosystem market. Once you purchase a device, the manufacturer ceases to be a competitor and becomes a gatekeeper. Inside these walls, every transaction you make is routed through a single central toll gate. From a regulatory perspective, this setup functions as a massive digital toll booth. Absolute control over the ecosystem allows the platform to extract commissions of up to 30%. In this view, restrictions prevent malware and protect user data while generating the revenue needed to fund hardware innovation. This philosophical debate physically manifests in how Apple manages the platform. They control who distributes software, who processes the payments, and which third parties are allowed to access the hardware for contactless transactions. While most nations are still debating these restrictions in court, Brazil has turned itself into a real-time laboratory. Brazilian regulators are actively forcing the system open through administrative intervention. Smartphones now serve as a foundational layer of global infrastructure. Inside your pocket, the rules of modern capitalism are being contested and rewritten. Brazil's administrative model allows it to move much faster than other global regulators. In the United States, enforcement relies on a judicial model. Regulators must engage in slow, expensive litigation to prove consumer harm after it has already occurred. The speed of digital markets makes this litigation model difficult to sustain. By the time a multi-year court battle concludes, the technological landscape being debated has often already shifted. This chart compares international approaches. The top row shows the European Union utilizing frameworks like the Digital Markets Act. Enforcing them remains slow. Brazil's approach, in the bottom row, focuses on rapid intervention, restructuring the market before it solidifies around a gatekeeper. This timeline illustrates the speed of that intervention. Following a complaint in 2022, Brazil established a hard compliance deadline for early 2026, forcing Apple to adopt sweeping structural changes to its operating system. This diagram shows the after state in Brazil. Apple must allow third-party app stores and external payment processors. The most aggressive mandate shifts towards contested access for the NFC chip, forcing Apple to open proprietary hardware so competitor payment apps function seamlessly. While the United States evaluates the economic effects of the past, Brazil is engineering the structure of the digital future. Opening the doors to a tech giant's ecosystem provides a framework for competition, but it does not guarantee a fair market. Regulators are watching for malicious compliance. This occurs when a platform technically obeys the law by allowing access, but structures the new fees to make competing economically impossible for third parties. This table details how Apple's pricing structure can maintain control. Even without the App Store's original 25% commission, developers may face a 15% fee for external links and an additional 5% fee for using third-party stores. If developers must pay complex core technology fees just to exist outside the official store, their margins disappear. The economic incentive to actually use an alternative distribution method vanishes. This illustration highlights the hardware bottleneck. On the left, Apple treats the NFC chip as a proprietary asset, keeping the gate closed. On the right, the open model shows how controlling this component dictates an entire nation's payment market. This represents a shift in modern antitrust. Regulators are moving away from monitoring the final price tag for consumers and focusing instead on access to invisible digital inputs. Brazil's implementation deadline in early 2026 will test whether rapid administrative action can truly break a monopoly's grip on these inputs. Genuine competition in the digital age, regulators to look past the physical walls of the ecosystem. It now demands the active policing of the invisible economic tolls placed on every single path leading inside.
Thanks for watching. For the deep dive economic analysis behind these stories, join us at econworks.com. Subscribe to stay informed on where law and economics meet the market. We'll see you in the next episode.